Rene Arnoux, certainly one of the very quickest drivers in Grand Prix racing. 12 pole positions, 2 wins, 4 second places, 7 fastest laps in his career, and now Patrese moving up through the field. I'm sorry to keep talking about things you can't see, but we want to tell you immediately that Riccardo Patrese is up into 3rd position ahead of Alain Prost. So, question mark, are the Renaults starting to hit trouble, as they have done so many times this year? Alain Prost, who had fuel injection problems in Detroit, and is still not altogether happy with his injured right foot, which he damaged in that terrific crash that he had in the lead in the closing stages of the Monaco Grand Prix. But anyway, Alain Prost now slipping down through the field, and the Brabham BMW Turbo of Piquet and the Brabham Ford of Patrese are now in 1st and 3rd positions. Into the pits comes Alboreto. Bad race for Tyrrell's, and that's Arnoux spinning. Arnoux in 2nd place, spinning off. Is he going to be able to restart the car? Because remember, he had this problem at Monaco and he couldn't get going. He can't start it. He's getting out. Arnoux retires.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, what a shame, particularly for the race interest there. Now that leaves an interesting situation, because Piquet is now well out front on his own. I don't know what came over Rene Arnoux then. It looks very much from what we can see how it ended up like an unforced error, and if that's the case, we know, I was just saying a lap ago how well he was driving. Certainly he was driving very much on the limit and flat out, but unforced errors, well, that's the end of the spin. We haven't seen why, but unforced errors at this level at the top are pretty unforgivable. It's hard enough when your car is working well, but you can't afford to give away races when it's working healthily. Arnoux's lost a lot of races with breakdowns this year when he was well placed, even winning the place, but when things are going well, you can't afford to make any mistakes at all as a top Grand Prix driver, because you don't get second chances, and the next time when you're doing well and not making any mistakes, the car does it for you. So it's essential that you don't do it yourself. So he'll be kicking himself for that, if that was indeed a mistake, unless of course he had a problem with the car. And in the meantime, as I say, Piquet is out front, but the reliability of the turbocharged BMW powered Brabham that he's driving is certainly in question. It hasn't got any sort of reliability record yet to go out and finish a race in a healthy state, but it's looking pretty impressive at the moment. And of course, as I said before, more testing miles on it, so Piquet will be keeping his fingers crossed, and meanwhile Patrese will be coming up behind him, getting very hopeful indeed, I should think.
Well, the significance of all that is a multiple significance. There is the race leader. He is on lap 30 in this 70-lap race. It is Nelson Piquet. But up into 2nd place in the 2nd Brabham with the Ford engine goes number 2, Riccardo Patrese, Nelson Piquet's teammate. The turbos now are not showing the dominance that they did in practice. Arnoux out of the race, Pironi effectively out of the race, and Alain Prost dropping back now in 3rd position. In 4th position now is Andrea De Cesaris in the Alfa Romeo. In 5th position is Eddie Cheever, and up into a point-scoring 6th place comes the World Championship leader, John Watson in the McLaren, and we still have 40 laps to go, including the one that they are on. A lot can still happen in this Canadian Grand Prix, which has already proved to be very eventful. A puff of smoke from the back of Piquet's car. Is he in trouble?
Well, it was definite black smoke that we hadn't seen before, and a little bit of spitting sort of rubbish out of the exhaust, but we expect that from the turbo. But that puff of smoke, and
that's Prost, I think.
It's certainly a major engine blow up, whoever it is. I don't think it's Piquet. It looks yellow.
It's certainly not Piquet. It's Prost. I wish they'd give us a close-up. It's the very distinctive, yes, it's Alain Prost. The Renaults have done it again. Arnoux went off for whatever reason, and now there is a major blow-up. It looks like a turbo has gone on the 2nd of the 2 Renaults, that of the World Championship leader up to Detroit, Alain Prost, so out he goes again.
Yes, and following the earlier fire, there's probably a lot of overkill with fire extinguisher stuff, but they've now desisted, because that was probably just smoke from a blown engine, and that really is changing the race. So the turbos are now falling by the wayside thick and fast, with the exception of Piquet, who is soldiering on, but he didn't look at all healthy. We saw that ominous looking puff of black smoke from Piquet's car, So once more, things are looking very well for the normally aspirated cars with their greater reliability as yet.